Welcome to the Remotely Speaking Podcast. We're your hosts, Paul and Chassie Hawkins. Super excited to see you guys. We have some amazing guests today that Chassie is going to introduce.
Today, you get to meet the C-suite. The C-suite of both Agency Resource Solutions and Sidekicks. So Paul and I'm the CEO of both companies. Paul is the CSFO.
Oh, we don't.
He has a lot of titles.
Look, I'm the C, everything else. Oh.
He has C, all the other things.
Yeah.
And then we're going to do that again.
No, we're not. That's perfect. Yeah, it's just staying in.
We're gonna roll with this. All right.
I do computers and money.
But in addition to us, today we have the very special guest, Beth Toth, who is our COO of both companies. She keeps it easy for us by having only one of those. Right. And then we have Tara Collins, who is our CSO, our Chief Sales Officer of both companies. So we're very excited to introduce you to them today. We've told stories about them and mentioned them in other episodes. So today we thought we'd bring them on and let you meet them yourselves because they're fabulous.
That's right.
So say hello, ladies.
Welcome.
Thank you for having us. We're excited.
Welcome to the podcast from Greenville, South Carolina.
Yes. And it's
That's
lovely in here. We're excited.
Sweet.
Awesome.
We got lights,
That's right.
Yes.
which is nice. Yes.
You know,
And thank goodness we have Kristen doing it because otherwise it would be like a phone.
Yes.
And it would be bad. Yeah. It
Yeah,
would
Kristen.
be really, really bad.
Yes.
Yes.
So I think we should start from the beginning by letting you ladies just introduce yourselves. So maybe Beth, we'll start with you. Tell us your history and how you got here, all the things.
My story. Okay, well, that's easy. My name is Beth Toth, as they said, and I have a career in insurance that started about 30 years ago, and I'm still active in an agency to this day. So I'm very... wear a lot of different hats, which gives me a lot of very valuable insight to helping with ARS and Sidekicks. And so my role from the very beginning has been to recruit, hire, and train all of those fabulous remote workers that are out there. So that's me, and that's what I do.
Fantastic.
But how did you get to the point that you did that? I mean,
Yes.
there's a fun story, right?
We want the whole story.
We want the whole story. So there's a fun story how you were discovered.
That's
Right?
the scoop. The whole story. So, as I said, 30 years ago, I went to work in agency. I was a single mom. I was really driven to sell because I needed money. Because as a single mom of a 5-year-old, that was my priority, was to take care of him. During the course of those years, my role evolved into where I was really just doing financial services, and that's really what I enjoyed. And eventually, I just became a manager and really just run the agency, hiring people and firing people from the agency. But about 20 years into that career, I heard about this wonderful woman who turns out to be Chastity's mom, Melanie Yates, and she had created this process that I had never been able to really nail down or pin down. In fact, my process included throwing it up on the wall and hoping something stuck because we just didn't have a process. So we were her 5th agency that she hired. And I thought, wow, this is awesome. It started working in our agency. Things just started rolling along. There was a process. Things were happening. Our sales team was able to sell because they weren't handling all of that day-to-day service work. And so I said, hey, I really love this if you ever need me to help. And that's kind of how it all began. I was training remote workers in my home on Saturdays. And they would come out, and I live in rural middle Georgia where there's not much. And so they would come out to the middle of nowhere and sit at my kitchen countertop, and we would train processes. And that's how it all began. Then we got big time and actually moved into a hotel room to train. And then we really evolved until we have a training center, as you know, where we do the training for both companies in Atlanta, Georgia now. So that's how it all came to be. And it's just I'm just so passionate about how it works. And it makes it easy to talk about when you know how it really helps agents.
You had no idea when you said, let me know how I can help. What you're getting yourself into?
I did not. And Melanie loves to tell the story. And Chastity, you remember how I would just kind of like randomly, somebody would mail me $100. You know, it was like, Beth, here, yes, of course I'll do it. Sure. And then maybe a check would show up every once in a while in the mail. So that was kind of how it all evolved. So hard for me to believe the difference in just those 13 years ago now, Chastity?
13 years. Yeah, we tell Beth we used to pay her peanuts, you know, like she would come and train a class of 20, like all we can pay you is $50.
Yes, I got some chips.
But we'll cover your dinner.
She said, of course. Yeah. I'd always say this too. I mean, how crazy was I? I did it. So, but that was good times. And now it's, of course, so much more structured and patterned and all the things that came out of those learning experiences way back then. So we've come a long way from writing everything down on a piece of paper. Yes. Sick.
Yep. Yes. Absolutely.
And how many people have you trained for ARS and Sidekicks now?
Wow. I really would have to say in the thousands.
It's over 1,000.
Or 1,000 for sure, because think how many active remote workers we have. And then, of course, people have changed over the years and retired. A lot of our people, long time, have retired as remote workers. So, yes. And I'd like to believe that every one of them was a rock star.
Every sort one.
Absolutely. That is, it's a process. And when we first started trying to find people, Paul, you remember we would have to get on the phones and just randomly call up people and say, hey, you don't know anybody that ever used to be working in an office? And we would tell agents, we're always looking for great team members. We don't want yours, but we need team members. And now every week we receive, you know better than I do, the number of applicants that pour in every single day that we vet and decipher through and decide upon. So it's a big change in how it was back in the day when we were struggling to find people.
Yes.
So that's right.
Well, I think that can be a teaser for what we're going to get to later, because I know every single person listening that's a business owner or works in an office wants to know how in the world you find all of these great people and train them so well. And so we will get to that. But let's let Tara introduce herself. Tara, Chief Saleswoman.
So my career actually started in healthcare management. So I did that for many years, and then started working with a great agent in my hometown in Jackson, Georgia, I guess 15 years ago, something like that. And then became his office manager. And through some life circumstances, parents getting ill, had to back away from that position. But while I was there, we actually hired your mom to do our reports and stuff, our beginning of day and such. And I got to be very good friends with her and got to know you guys and stuff. And so when I stepped away, she was like, hey, I'm drowning in agents. Would you like to start working some agents? So I became a representative of ARS as well, and did that until recently, actually. But during that time, I also came on with ARS as what we call our checklist caller. And I actually did those onboarding calls with agents, did like 6 to 8 every day, and did that for 5 or 6 years, at least. Yeah. And then we created Sidekicks, which has just been an amazing, amazing situation. And I always have said, and Beth laughs at me all the time because I've always said I'm not a salesperson.
Yeah, right.
Not a salesperson. But here I am. But I don't feel like it's sales. I just feel like I have conversations with people about something that I'm truly passionate about. Love the companies, love what we do, love how we're able to help not only the agents, but so many families, with our remote workers. And it's just been an absolutely fabulous journey that I hope we're on for a really long time.
That's the plan.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, listeners, keep us going, okay?
That's right. That's right. We like to eat. So.
Well, I always love for you guys to tell your stories because it's cool. It's always cool to hear how someone got here, right? It's easy for people to look at today and go, oh, wow, how successful are they? And what they've accomplished, but they have no idea where you started, right? And how you got there. And so I think it's such a cool journey to share. And we've all everyone at this table, our families have been impacted by the opportunities that these companies have presented to us, and the ability to work remotely, and the things we've been present for that we may not have been able to do.
Well, I think so many things changed too. Not only us being able to be present and there, but really when I see a big turnaround on how things happen was when Paul started helping us out more, because I had applications that I would just print, which
No. You don't understand. She had piles in her floor. I would go to her house and it's all over.
such a true story. And so I did not have a really great process. And Paul is amazing at processes. And he really came in and goes, oh my gosh, how in the world, Beth, have you done this? And I'm like, well, I write on this piece of paper and I say, and so he came in and really put in processes and automations in place that really helped me and helped me streamline. And that made a huge difference in the way everything, and I'm always looking for ways to improve. That's one of the things that I like to pick his brain on, because he is so great at that. And I'll tell Tara all the time, I got to ask Paul, how do I make this easier? What am I doing wrong? And so,
and God love him. He's so patient with us all. Yes. We don't ever see him roll his eyes or anything.
No, I wouldn't dare.
as soon as he walks away.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
Gracious. That's right. That's right.
But that made a huge difference for me. And like you said, from where we started, and it's unbelievable. I look back and I'll have some old files and boxes and things, and there'll be those 1 through 30 file folder things that you used to stuff things in, and all of that. It is so far removed from the way we operate now that I can't even hardly remember. I need to take it all to the shredder.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's just a huge difference to think about.
Wow, thank you, Beth.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Made a big
Come
difference for
a long way.
For sure.
By the way, there's some other things I need.
Oh, that's so funny. I told her, so we're clapped in now, so this is perfect. Yeah, so I remember all those things. Yes. Especially all the paper everywhere was quite an adventure, right? So it's been a wonderful experience with you two, figuring out how to scale the businesses together. And when we started Sidekicks, we had literally years of lessons of like, well, I don't know. And we'd all figured it out together with your mom and team. And so we started Sidekicks. It started without paper that time. And it's been fun to see the business scale because of doing that. So thanks for being patient with me as I threw computer stuff at you.
Well, it certainly helped. And as Tara mentioned, you definitely are patient with us old folks. So we appreciate it.
And continue to be. We are grateful.
Because we're just going to keep getting older, by the way.
That's right.
Look, Paul's going to keep your skills sharp.
I got you. Yeah.
That's right.
Look, I can teach you how to double click all day. So that's this.
Copy and paste.
So it's hard to believe that there was ever a point in time where you guys weren't part of the business. That wasn't a very long period of time. Yeah, there was definitely a period of time where, I was Beth's remote service specialist. My mom worked their agency book for a while, and then my mom had way too many and had to offload, so she transferred to me, and I marched into Beth's office and grabbed a laptop from her, and everything I used to do assigned to her.
That's right.
I remember that. Yes.
And then I remember when Tara was hired, because she was the very first non-family remote service specialist. So I was the second one.
I wear my crown proudly. That's right.
So I was the second one, and then she was the third one.
That's right.
And so she's been with us since the beginning. But I think what's really cool is we've become family.
All right.
These are my extra moms.
That's
They're my work moms.
That's right.
And my kids.
Yeah, that's right.
And Miss Beth and Tara. And Tara Beth and Tara. They're one. They're one.
Tara Beth.
Yeah, we are one. We do. And it is great that we are that family piece. And I know a lot of people overuse that phrase, don't they? Like, we run our business like a family, but we do. We really do. We care about each other and what happens and how the company does and how the kids are and all the things. So we want to know how your girls are. And so that's.
And I love how we all have our own strong suits, but we also help fill in for each other's weaknesses as well. So it's
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a fun thing to talk about real quick that I'm finding as we're in this business for a while, the combo of personalities that requires to do it. And it happened organically. It's not like, hey, I need this and we need this. Like, we're kind of gelled together.
Yeah.
And it's it's fantastic to watch because we all have very specific things we're great at, and then a lot of things that we're terrible at. Right? For me, it's like a lot of terrible, and then like really good technology. Yeah, I'm good at that part. No, I like, for example, your Tara, your transformation from remote specialist into really in charge of our sales department and taking care of customers, right? Like you blossom with that. It's wonderful. And Beth, oh my goodness, like you have trained over 1,000 people, right? And so that's the core of our business. And you are the team mom, right? For sure. Right? Like because you're our CEO, so we have discussions, CEO and C-suite. We also have discussions with you of like, hey mom, right? All the time. And you guys bring such levity to the company, to both companies. But I can speak personally for me, like, well, I said this. I did the hand motion like Chad sitting pot. So both of us, huh?
Yeah.
We love you guys, right?
Yeah.
We love you guys too.
Yeah.
We're having a love fest.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
are.
that
Yeah.
happens. Yeah.
So we all have a superpower, right? Like,
There we go. Yeah.
like I have one, and Paul definitely is the numbers guy and the technology guy and the efficiency guy. And then Beth's superpower, I think, is she has such a sense for a person
Oh, yeah.
and where they would fit and what would suit their personality best. And I think that's a God-given gift. I don't know that you can teach that.
There's a spidey sense.
Her spidey sense. That's a good one.
Yeah.
And then Tara, it does not matter what is happening. She can bring levity to that situation and just de-escalate and just make everyone walk away laughing, smiling, and feeling like they just won the lottery.
She can. Wow. She absolutely
Yeah.
can.
True. Yes.
And so I think we should have them talk about all of that, how they do that. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm good. I talk too much.
Well, for me, that to say that I have a sense of people, I always said, and it's funny you use the words God-given, because I said, I am so upset. I'm going to ask God when I see him one day, why can't I sing? Oh, why can't I dance? Why can't I dance? No, I can't. You're right. I do not do any dancing. No, you're right. And I always like, why can't I can't draw. I can't paint. I can't do any of those things. And I'm just not creative. I don't have that sort of a side of the brain. And so because of that, I had to find something. And I think you rely on, I'm just always been very observant.
Mm.
I can ride by a new restaurant and I can see that the little vent pipe out of the top of this thing is green instead of the same color as the roof or something. I just have always been very observant. And because of that, I would watch people's body language. I watch people's eye contact. I'm especially big on posture. I cannot stand slouchy posture. Like when I'm talking to you, I expect you to sit up, Paul.
Yeah.
And so,
But slouching, son.
Mom said,
Yes, ma'am.
Team Mom said. But anyway, I just feel like it was because I lacked in other areas that were something I would have really loved to have had. I think I really just zoned in on paying attention to what's around me and learning what it meant when I saw people doing it. I do a lot more listening than I do talking. And I think that really helps me with my selection of our candidates, not just their skills, not just how many years of experience do you have, not just how many licenses do you have, but most importantly, what do I see? Where is that fire in the belly? Where is that I want thing? What's driving you? And in fact, I ask them after they've been on my informational calls, I will ask them to provide me more than just that in a response email to me. Tell me, why is this what you're looking for? Tell me why this is your dream job. Tell me what you can do to make our companies better. And so they put that in words to me, and I've already watched them and interviewed them and talked to them. And if I see what they think matches what I think, then I hire them. So, I just feel like that spidey sense is what makes me that recruiter. Yeah. So spidey sense.
It's a spidey sense.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, no lie. We'll be sitting there. If you can't tell, Beth and I are also best friends.
Yes.
And for those that don't know, but it's funny because we'll be working somewhere together and I'm steadily working. And she'll say, oh, gosh, did you so? And I was like, oh, there are other people here? I mean, I'm like, but she's so aware and always listening. And
I'll say, did you hear them say so-and-so? No, I did not.
nobody else was talking. She's like, oh, my God.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, it is that. But you, on the other hand, when you mentioned that you always said that you weren't a salesperson, remember? And I told her, you absolutely are. You make every room love you. You make everything. And she said, oh, I just like to, it's not that. And she's talk a lot. But she just never had something she believed in.
Yeah.
And I think where she found out that she was a salesperson is when she started representing the companies and what we could do. And she just believed there, and that
changed my life. So I just talk what I know. Right. So it's great. And I mean, you guys were talking about that I basically can de-escalate situations and stuff. I have found that people just want to be heard.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily that I do anything, but I do try to listen to people and what their concerns are, whether we've made a mistake or maybe they've misunderstood something or whatever, whether it's, agents or remote workers. People just want to be heard and feel like they're valued. And so that's what I try to do. Yeah.
So is that the advice you would give someone that has like that angry customer on the phone, or like, because, we have listeners that are business owners and they're probably like, dang, I get those complaints all the time. And so Sarah's our chief sales officer, or Tara. I called you Sarah.
I know. Okay.
Tara.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking sales and Tara.
I know you.
We're just
Who are you?
Who's
It's
Sarah?
You're like my other mom, and I don't know your name. It's fine.
That's right.
It's okay. I'm glad I made an impression.
That's right.
Is also our director of customer success. And so she sells someone, she gets them in the door, but then she cares for them after that. And so what that means oftentimes is they call her when they're not happy. Because if they're happy, you don't hear from them. And that's a good thing. No news is good news.
Right.
But so her job really is get them in the door and then make them feel heard and loved and valued. And you do such a fabulous job. So any advice you can impart to business owners out there, or leaders or team members that are dealing with situations, I'm sure they would love to.
Well, for years, everybody has always heard, their client's always correct. Customer's always right, or whatever, no matter what the situation is. We laugh, but I do this a lot. I mean, I do find myself apologizing, even though it may not be a mistake that I feel that we have made or whatever. But whoever I'm speaking with, their feelings are valid. They have valid. There is
Their
valid
feelings
to
are their
them.
feelings.
Yeah, that's right. And so I just try to listen, and I always try to find a resolution. And a lot of times we do find resolution and we're able to move forward.
Well, that's what I was going to say that you do so well is a lot of times the answer is not, people have been told no. And so what she does is, and she said she tries to work on a resolution, where her strong suit really is that she finds a solution. She really does. And sometimes she'll call me and she'll bounce it by me. Do you think this will work if we do this? Or how do you feel? And I'm like, that's a great idea. She can go back and use that to find that solution, and everybody's happy if you can resolve the problem, right? So, and sometimes there's not an answer for everything, and we know that.
And
But
sometimes you can't, it doesn't work.
right, but you are good at kind of figuring out a way to plug something and make it work.
Well, I mean, we have to everybody has guidelines of what they do. You have to, or, it's not a free for all. You have to have guidelines. But as we always say, we want to be flexible as well. And even though we have these guidelines and our agents sign up for our processes, whichever role it is, but sometimes, they may not need certain things, but hey, these other things may be important to them. So we try to be flexible and trying to do what's best for them and what's going to work best for their teams.
Well, could you make my premium go down about $300?
That I can't do because I can't make mine go down. So, yeah.
Well,
That's one thing we can't do.
No, that's right.
That's right.
So,
And humor goes a long way, right?
Yeah. Well, what is it you say that you tell people all the time when they call you and want to fuss about their premium, and you say, yes, mine did too.
Mine went too. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah.
Another thing I love that you do, Tara, is you pick up the phone. Like if you see things are escalating in writing, you will pick up the phone and squash it. Like you don't sit on it.
Well, and a lot of times your written correspondence does not come across the way that you mean it. So I just feel like a lot of times if you can get on the phone with somebody and they can truly hear your heart and that you want to help and you want to help find resolution, that kind of de-escalates things right there.
I mean, the part you said about the written word, that is, I mean, it's so many things. People interpret it a whole different way than you meant sometimes. And so they're taking it. So that's a thing. Sometimes I get an email and I'm like, now what did they mean by that exactly? Because it might hit you just not right, you know?
Right.
So I think picking up the phone is a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes you write an email that says thanks, and they really wanted a whole lot more
Yeah.
than that. Just not, speaking for a friend.
Yeah. We did a whole episode on emails and Hall's very short emails.
Yes.
And then my God-given gift is writing a beautiful email that is obnoxiously long, but every detail you could possibly ever want to know is in there.
That's right.
Every single
I
one.
remember
You wrote one like that?
Yes, I did. Remember the part where we were talking about we all bring different gifts and how we all kind of mesh? Yeah. Paul and I, we kind of share a same brain when it comes to that kind of, I like numbers. I like getting to the point. I don't have to have all the fluff.
Look, we're rolling. We're
What are we talking about?
We're a cop.
We're just talking
Oh, I
about
already got
Chastity and her zhush and her emails. and
Listen,
how
I am the company email zhuzher.
Yeah.
Pleasure. Yeah.
Beth or Paul will write an email and it'll be like 4 words.
We'll say, make this print for me.
to know.
And they'll call me and say, this is what I'm trying to say. Can you say that in a very nice Chast kind of way? And so if you are a customer or a remote worker and you've received an email from our company, it probably was zhuzhed by me at some point.
If it wasn't, it should have been. Because I know.
I will sometimes I'll say, Beth, hey, this is, would you read through this? And she'll say, yeah, it was a great email. I'm like, God, it was long. And I'm like, I had to say everything. I wanted to get everything up there that I needed to say.
And you did.
And she said, but I could have done that in about 7 words. And I'm like, but it wouldn't have been as nice as fine.
But they wouldn't have smiled when they finished reading it.
I would have been thankful it wasn't 70 pages.
I don't know. Yeah. Nope.
It's not
Love
us.
it, though. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
We love each other. We just don't have
Not
to
my
zhuzh.
thing.
That's right.
No, mine's just like, okay, send.
Yeah.
Thanks for sending. Send. Thank you. I got it. Wait.
I love my words.
You taught me like I should have a proportional response to the length of the email. So if someone sends me like six paragraphs, I should have something of equal length.
If someone's pouring their heart out, you shouldn't say, okay, Sim.
Oh, no.
But I didn't say okay. I was like, okay, thanks, send. But that's perfect. So
I think that sounds perfectly fine.
I thank you. Yeah, I mean it. I'm sincere about it. Like
We're not going to let Paul send emails.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good thing we have the two of y'all.
That's why Sarah and I are the customer
Hey,
favorite.
look, no, but see, oh man, no, the army guy in me like the 2 words.
Just
Use 1 and when don't use 3 when you can use 2.
Correct.
So
we're going to zhush.
We will.
I'm right.
All right.
We've been overruled.
You have been. Well, so let's move to Beth's superpower. I know you've kind of hit on it already, but let's allow you to impart some advice because I know, because I receive these emails and these phone calls and people come up to our table at conferences and they go, how in the world do you find all of these people? And then how in the world are they all so awesome? And how do you train that many when they're all over the country and they're all working remotely? So do you have any tips for people who are looking for great people?
I would say that it is a constant 100% always in motion. You can't ever stop. The minute that you stop with the process for hiring is the minute you have nobody to hire. So as a company, we are continually networking, reaching out, using all of our resources to have a lot of people to pull from. And I think that is the biggest thing, is to do the same thing over and over every day, day in and day out, to where you never have those gaps. Even if you don't need anybody, like, sometimes we'll have some of our roles, since we now provide 5 different roles for agents out there, that I might not need an individual for then, but they're still on my back burner. They're still there. I always want to have more than I need, just so that we don't have that. And again, I really rely on our reputation and what agents are telling other agents about us, and what our remote workers are saying about leadership and how we run our companies, and how we pour into them. And so I rely on that to keep that pool full. And I use that God-given gut to help me select them. So that would be my words is don't stop. Just keep trying to generate people all the
One
time.
thing that is fascinating to me still, and I watch you do it all the time. I mean, most of our folks and all of our roles, they came as a referral from an agent. Maybe an agent had a wonderful team member that, due to life circumstance needed to be at home. And they're like, hey, I've got somebody fabulous, but I can't utilize them in that way. Or, one of our current remote specialists say, hey, I know somebody that's fabulous. And, it's just crazy.
You're right. It's the referrals are a huge piece of it.
It is crazy how that works.
And you don't get those referrals unless you create an awesome company culture. And so I think that that's something we do super well, is that we care for the people. After we get them in, but then we care for them and we love on them and we give them opportunities.
Yeah, they're not just stuck out on an island. We don't say, here you go and have fun.
I think for me, that's probably what I'm the most proud of with our companies is that community that we have with our remote workers. And if they're not utilizing what we put out there, that's fine too.
Right.
My agent that I work for, he has a saying that I love. He says, I like to eat, clap, and leave. He's not somebody that joins. He's just going to eat, clap, and leave. And generally, he gives a donation too, right? So, but he's a eat, clap, and leave kind of guy, and that's fine. But some people are not, and so I love that we give this community, if you want it. It's simple as book club, or as simple as a step challenge or something. We do have that, and I love that, and I think that is, as a recruiter, that helps too. Just what you're saying, the company culture brings people in. So.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. So a niche of people that we have most often are moms.
Yes.
Right. Most of the remote workers we have are, not all, but most are moms. Many are single moms. Many are moms that need to be home for some reason or another. And I've seen with the three of you, the kind of like pouring of your heart into them because right? We have kids and you both had children. And so you know what it's like at their age with children of their age and providing them an opportunity and just being in their shoes, right? And so I think it's one of those massive superpowers that both of you have when you're finding people and you're caring for them after the fact is you know how to fill their cup, right? And what that translates into is a person who is satisfied, happy, joyful, which means they're an even better worker for our clients, right? And that I know for me, from a business standpoint, is what I want so much for our clients is for them to be over the moon with the people they get, that everyone is overly satisfied and everybody knows that they have support and they're taken care of, right? And you two have just really led the charge in doing that through these communities.
Well, I think I think there's before COVID and after COVID, and a whole difference in how the remote, that wasn't an option for us as moms.
Right.
There were not remote jobs. And so it makes me really proud to know that we have these ways for moms to still be present, still be out there, still being able to help with homework after school, or get to ball practice after school. And those things and like you said, that makes a happy person, and a happy person is going to do a good job.
Well, and speaking about the time, where we had we had COVID and all that, so many families were affected by they couldn't go to work and all that. And our folks never missed a beat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nothing changed for them, and I mean, the value of that remote worker was even more so because like I said, they didn't miss a beat. They just kept doing what they normally do. And it was amazing.
So COVID was wild in this industry.
Oh, yeah.
COVID, I remember talking to my friends, they were like binge watching Netflix. Yes. And I'm working my rear end off. I know. And Paul was working remotely, not with our companies, but we were both working from home. Neither of us missed a beat, but we had to also play teacher, and our gym was in our house, our school was in our house, our work was in our house, everything was in our house.
I remember.
And we had a waiting list.
Oh, yeah.
a bajillion miles long
Because we could get laptops.
because we couldn't get equipment because, COVID, nothing could get there. We had no toilet paper, hand sanitizer, or computers apparently. And so we had this long list. And so our business thrived at a time when so many were suffering. And
That's
it was
right.
such a blessing. But it was also, oh my goodness, stressful.
It's been different ever since.
It has been.
Yeah. There's a lot to the continuity of businesses through it, right? Like there's a need for in-office people, and I would argue there's always a need for remote workers as well.
Yes.
And a lot of times, remote workers not where you are, right? For disaster planning, contingency planning, all sorts of things that can happen to you in your house in your town. Having some people in different areas can keep your lights on while you're trying to recover. We experienced that firsthand with Hurricane Tier, and so it works because it works, right? And we just thank you guys for pouring into clients and remote workers. I mean, you're pouring. I see you pour into them every single day.
Well, it takes all four of us to make all this run, and all of our team, which I'd love to give a shout out to. See, everyone,
I mean,
we not just our remote workers, but our internal team that we've grown, because when we started with Sidekicks, we've been talking a lot about ARS and how we've been around from the very beginning. But when we started with Sidekicks just over 2.5 years ago now, it was the four of us. And now we have a team that includes a person that does our video content like this, right? So, yes. And so it's so crazy that but the four of us started out with it and all, but the success and the continued success is them.
That's right.
And how much they are also our family.
That's right.
And I really do want to give a shout out to them because that's what we talk about the team, and we talk about how important it is, and 100% that's what we've built with our companies, and it's not always easy.
I agree. For our listeners, if they haven't met part of our team, right, outside the four of us, or perhaps one person that they onboard with, they should know that our internal team cares as much as you two. Like oh my goodness, they care so much about providing the best possible experience for our clients and sidekicks in all the things, right? And they really keep the machine running on their own, right? And we're just super, super thankful for them. I'm thankful for Jen when I only paid her like $110 on accident. That's the only payroll mistake I've ever made. I was like, sorry. I gave her I gave her lunch, and I was like,
we laugh about how when you guys told us, okay, maybe we'll look at adding that fifth person on staff, and we were like, we knew exactly who we wanted to talk to, and we happened to call her. We were at a training in Atlanta, and we called her from the restaurant there, and she was like getting on a plane or something, and we were like, hey, we're starting this new thing. We want you to be a part of it, but by the way, there's no pay. And she was like, okay, it sounds great, and of course now she is our director of service onboarding. But it
paid way more than
I fed. No, it's worth telling. So the very first time we did, I put her on payroll. And I don't know what happened. So it's my fault. But she got paid like $100, right? Legitimately like $100. And her husband was like, what kind of scam is this? And I was like, no, man.
he told her, he said, is this correct? Because I'll pay you that much to clean the basement. That's what he said.
I felt so bad. Oh, yeah, it's been fun ever since.
I think, though, her diving in head first like that is such a testament to the buy-in that we're getting, because she was a remote worker.
Yes, right. That's right.
It still is.
It still is.
So I think that I am confident I can call up almost any one of our remote workers, and they are so bought in that if I say, hey, we need your help and we would really like you to do this job, they'd be like, yep, without even asking what's in it for them, because they believe in it so much.
That's right.
And you guys did that in the beginning. We paid you $50 per training or whatever. And then with Sidekicks, we're like, we're going to do this. And we're going to need you guys to make it up, because we only have the idea. You guys have to actually figure out what we're going to do. And then we're not going to pay you for a second.
Right.
And you're sort of like, okay.
Completely free for, I don't know, maybe 6 months. We'll see.
We did it because we love y'all.
That's right. We did. But we also knew that these were things that agents needed.
We did.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And had been asking for years that we just had not figured out a way to do it. And
These two helped us.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
They figured it all out.
That's right.
Yeah, we had a big wait list and we were still figuring it out while adding to the wait list, and it was pretty
Aren't
cool.
we still figuring it out?
Yeah. I think every good business is constantly evolving. So I don't know that we'll ever have.
No, you have to be like, it's so, it's again, it's, I like, it's kind of the inside secrets, but something that's core to our team is continuous improvement, right? So we meet as a team, whole team, every month to do the retrospective. And there's other podcasts. I'm sure Kristen will link it in the description or something. She will now. And
She got the little prod there.
You're welcome.
she'll help you. I can't do it. Where we go over like what went well and what did not go well and what we want to improve from the last month. And we do it every single month.
Yeah.
And what's cool is like in our system, I have all the notes from every single one that we've had since the beginning. And it is amazing to go through because you can see like we identified these things we wanted to improve with our products. And we did it the next month. We did it again and did it the next month. And so through that, like the products that we have now, the checklists that we have now, all those things, it's been gradually improved and improved and improved.
Right.
And I know we'll continue to do that because like the world changes, life changes, things change, systems change, needs change, and we change along with it, right? And our entire internal team is just used to it now, right? Like change is normal with the company.
Well, we have to as well because systems are changing that we're, so we have to continually.
That's right. I didn't change your system that you guys were using, a few months in. So from
Yeah, you did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So
That's our whole CRM. Paul decided we were using a different one.
I liked it better. It was prettier.
And we taught these ladies the technology and they did it.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
We won't talk about what we called it in the beginning. Yes.
No, it is quite funny. Yes. You liked it a little. You like it more now.
I do like
Brown.
it more now. Yeah.
Yes, it's handy. But anyway, that's a good point. Like, sometimes you just have to completely change everything.
Absolutely. That's right.
Just gotta
And
get
change
it
is
in.
good. Yes, change is good.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I always love asking this question for the guests on our podcast.
Okay.
If you could name one or two most influential people in your lives, who would they be and why?
Well, for me, 100% is my agent that I've worked for 30 years. His name is Zeke Rhodes. And Zeke and his wife, Joanne, took me in and kind of let me go. And I have learned so much from him. I mentioned him earlier on his eat, clap, and leave. And but he has many Zeke-isms that are quite funny, and he doesn't mean them to be. They're just him. Yeah. But he made me want to work hard, and he made me want to. I'm a people pleaser by nature, but my income was tied to my success, and he patted me on the back all the times it took for me to drive that. And so I just really respect him as a man and a husband and a father and a boss. And so he's been just truly a big part of my life. But of course, I think too that the biggest job that we do that has the most reflection on us is how we are as a parent. So I think for me now, I like to watch my son because he is I can remember going to events with him when he was 6 or 7, and I would tell him, you better behave at this thing. These are all the people I work with, and everything you are is a direct reflection on me. And he still spit off the side of the baseball stadium or whatever, right? Yeah. So, but for me now,
It's gonna kill you.
it's okay. So, but now I'd like to see him as a man and how the influence of the people that I surrounded him with when he was growing up, to include Zeke and of course my brothers and my parents and my family. I love to see him now as the reflection of that. So I think that now he's kind of an influence on me. He's a better saver. He's a good spouse. So I think for me, it would be those two that come to mind. I mean, outside of of course, your parent.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Lovely. Thank you.
So of course I'm my first influence, of course, were my parents. And my dad always preached to my sister and myself that you always do good by people, no matter what the situation, no matter what it costs you, you always do good by people. So I always try to do that. And the next probably biggest influence, I mean, I've had several, but truly Beth, because as we, you know, I came from being a remote worker. And so I always kind of had that mentality from that side of things. And as I developed into my leadership roles, don't cry, you're gonna make me cry. And I don't look pretty crying. But she taught me to not only have that view from things, but I also have to look at things from an agent view. And I think I've learned that, and I have tried to excel in that area. And so yeah.
No, that's so kind. Thank you.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that at all, because she has had great mentors in her family. She talks about her Aunt Ailes, and her all the things that she.
My grandparents, all my little sayings.
Yeah.
That's right.
Tara's the queen of the Southern saying.
Tara's got some isms.
Yes.
Isms. Must be why you and Zeke with your isms do so well.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's another podcast.
We'll
Have a lesson in Southern slang.
That's a great.
Yes.
We're adding that to season 2. Y'all get ready.
Get ready. Have your notebook ready. That's right.
Lord.
Some of it may not be appropriate, but we'll do it anyway. Yeah,
She can bleep.
yeah, she can bleep it out. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Thanks, Kristen. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for being on the podcast today. We love you. And
We love you guys.
since we're done, we're going to go work.
That's right. We're going to go back to work now.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Let's do
Back to
it. We
work.
love it. We'll do it again.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're going to do it again in season 2.
All right.
Nice, y'all. Same page.
Thank you so much for watching today's episode of the Remotely Speaking Podcast. As always, if you haven't already, like and subscribe to all of our things on YouTube and Amazon and Spotify and wherever else Kristen has put this. And we hope to see you in next season.
We hope you enjoyed a little peek behind the scenes of our companies and our awesome leadership, and that you can see the dynamic and love that we pour in every single day to everything that we do. If you are interested in learning more about those companies, you can find us on our websites, agencyresourcesolutions.com, ARSsidekicks.com. You can also find this podcast on social media on Instagram at Remotely Speaking Podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time.
See you soon.